What's up, everybody? Matt Moda here to give you my top upset predictions for the NFL Week 4 betting slate. So I looked at the slate, honestly, didn't love a lot of what I saw, but I was able to find two underdogs that I like to win straight up, and then another one that I'm taking the spread as well. So that's how we are going to play these upset predictions in Week 4. Admittedly, Week 3 continued the cold streak that we are on. Week 2 did not go well. I was hoping to turn it around in Week 3. That also did not go well. I gave out 3 early bets. All 3 of them, I played underdogs, I played their spread, and I played the money line as well. We only got one of those to cash. That was the Minnesota Vikings for coming through with a victory. I was on the Patriots spread and also Patriots to win straight up. That was disgusting, just a total loss from the jump. And then I also took the Chargers as well. You know, that game ended up getting pretty out of hand. Justin Herbert left with an injury. Both their starting tackles left with an injury. So I don't feel terrible about that one. It still goes down as an L in the stat sheet. And then the player props, we just cannot catch a break. It's been half bad reads on my end that I will own. It's also been half brutal beats that we just cannot catch a break. So hopefully we're able to get things to turn around. If you look at the entire season, we are still at least up on our early predictions. We were up in weeks 1 and 2. So the loss in week 3 did not bring us into the red on the year, but we are unfortunately on the red in both our upset predictions and our player props as well. We're going to turn things around. I can feel it. It's just been a brutal start. Week 1 was amazing. It's been back-to-back brutal weeks. Week 4 is going to be great. And then I'm recording this before Monday Night Football. So hopefully Monday Night Football went well and that we're on our upward trajectory towards a hot streak. But as I mentioned, as for this video, 2 upset predictions, as my dog has to scratch himself in the background. If you can hear that, my apologies. 2 upset predictions, 2 moneyline underdogs that I like to win straight up, one of which I'm also taking the spread. So the first play that we're going to go ahead and lock in here, I'm taking the Los Angeles Rams moneyline. You can get that best offered at plus 128 odds at Profit X. You can also get it best offered at plus 125 if you don't use Profit. I'm putting a half unit on the Rams to win straight up. They're playing the Bears in Chicago. Now, the Rams won last week. I will admit they beat the 49ers. That's pretty impressive victory. I will admit they had some breaks go their way in that game. A missed kick, drop by a 49ers wide receiver. But even with how banged up the Rams are, they still were able to beat the 49ers, which is pretty impressive. Now, the 49ers were banged up too, not quite to the same extent that the Rams were. And the Rams, they made it work on offense with a hodgepodge of receivers and their and just like a bunch of backups at the offensive line. Impressive victory for the Rams. Now, the level of competition that the Rams have had, complete opposite, going up against this Bears team that is just completely lost on offense. The Bears defense is legit, 100%. So if you want to look for this to be an under game, that's not a terrible idea. I do think that it's not going to be a ton of points scored in this one, but the Bears offense, it's just a complete mess. Their offensive line is brutal. And Caleb Williams doesn't have the footwork down to just kind of play things on schedule, as the kids say. And then he also isn't quite able to do things off schedule like he was in college. And what that's turned into is just an abomination on offense. Through 3 weeks, the Bears have literally the worst offense in football, according to DVOA, literally 32nd. The 32nd ranked offense with the 30th ranked passing offense, which is another way of saying third worst, and the 31st ranked rushing game, which is another way of saying second worst. So the worst offense on the third worst passing, the second worst rushing. Bad across the board. Their running back signing, DeAndre Swift, has been a total nightmare. He's been terrible. And I'm not sitting here saying that the Rams defense is a world-beating defense or anything like that. But neither were the Colts, and the Colts were able to pretty much shut down the Bears' offense. The only reason why that game was close was because, both quarterbacks, but on the Colts side, Anthony Richardson was trying his hardest to give that game back to the Bears. Week 1, the Bears won. They scored 24 points. They did not have a single offensive touchdown in that 24-point victory. Not they won by 24, but they scored 24 points. They finished that game with fewer than 150 total yards. Disgusting. They followed that up the following week, primetime against the Texans. They scored 13 points with 205 total yards of offense. That was week 2. In week 3, last week against a bad defense in the Colts, they scored 16 points. Now, they did manage to put up yards. So if you look at like the individual stats, Caleb Williams' stats didn't look terrible. Rome Odunze had a pretty big game. they just couldn't score. And I think that's going to be an issue this week. I think it's going to be an issue week over week. The biggest issue with the Bears is their offensive line. DVOA's worst offensive line in football with the third highest pressure rate. Not good. The Rams, you look at their stats on defense, not phenomenal, but they've had the third hardest defensive schedule through 3 games. They played the Lions in week 1, the Cardinals in week 2, and then the 49ers last week. So according to DVOA, the third hardest defensive schedule, they came out of it at least with a victory. And then going from the third hardest to the Bears, I mean, that's going to be a welcome sight, seeing this Chicago Bears offense. And then on the other side of the ball, like I said, I do think that the Bears defense is legit. I don't think that they're necessarily the best defense in football, but I think that they're definitely above average, top 10 defense. But the 49ers have a good defense too, and the Rams are able to do enough to move the ball on offense, right? It's impressive. No team has suffered the type of injuries that the Rams have suffered between their offensive line and then both Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua going down, but they managed last week against the 49ers some big plays from Demarcus Robinson, Tutu Atwell, Kyren Williams has been awesome. Rams win this game straight up. I put a half unit on that bad boy. Again, plus 128 odds. I will say, if you're new to my channel, I would appreciate it if you could subscribe. I know it's been a rough start to the year, so if you are new, hopefully you missed out on the worst part of the season that we will have these past 2 weeks, and then it's only profitable, only good moving forward. So subscribe if you haven't already, and then like, comment this specific video. And then next up, so Seahawks versus Lions. I'm putting 1 unit on the Seahawks spread, plus 4.5, minus 115 odds at FanDuel. And then I'm also putting a half unit on the Seahawks money line, which is best offered at plus 185 odds at Hard Rock, or you can get it at plus 180 odds at BetMGM. So this game, it's a Monday night game. Next week, the NFL is also having 2 Monday night games. Not that this matters, but just so you know, it's a Monday night game next week. I absolutely love backing the Seahawks in this spot. I love getting them plus 4.5. Not only do you get the field goal, but you get the 4 points as well. 3 to 4 point victories happen all the time. And I would not be shocked. So if they, or I should say, I would not be shocked if they won. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle the money line as well. Again, you can get that at plus 185 odds. The Lions, 2-1 through 3 games. Not a very impressive 2-1. Last week they played an abomination of a defense in the Arizona Cardinals, and they had a hard start in that game. Their first drive looked amazing. David Montgomery scored. Then they got slowed down for the majority of that game. And I'm not sitting here and telling you that their offense is terrible. They're not the Bears' offense by any means. They have the 12th ranked offense according to DVOA. Keep in mind, last year, their offense was the 5th best in the NFL according to DVOA. And the Lions' success is having an elite offense. They brought back a lot of their same pieces, and they brought back their offensive coordinator in Ben Johnson. So this offense should be better than they are. The biggest issue with this offense is Jared Goff, who has not looked good. There are 32 quarterbacks according to DVOA that have thrown enough passes to be a qualified passer. Jared Goff ranks 22nd of those 32 QBs according to DVOA. According to PFF, there are 35 quarterbacks that qualify according to their metrics. Jared Goff ranks 31st of 35 quarterbacks. He's not been good. That's been the biggest issue with this Lions offense. Maybe he gets it together as the season goes on. Hasn't happened yet. Now they have Sam Laporta, who's injured with a sprained ankle. He'll probably gut it out. He's a tough guy, but we have no idea how healthy he's going to be. We've seen sprained ankles last entire seasons. They can really just destroy a season. And then looking at the Seahawks, they've been amazing on both sides of the ball. They've been awesome. Part of the reason why they've been awesome is their quarterback in Geno Smith. According to DVOA, 10th best quarterback in the NFL. According to PFF, 5th best quarterback in the NFL. You look at the Seahawks as a whole, second best offense according to second best team in the NFL according to DVOA, with the 5th best offense in the 2nd best defense. Now their defense has had a very easy go of it, 100%, quite literally the easiest defensive schedule to start a year, or to start this season according to DVOA. Literally the easiest matchups that they've had through 3 games. But the good news is they've had those easy matchups, and they've been dominating those opponents. That's what you want to see from a defense. When you get an easy opponent, dominate that easy opponent. That is what the Seattle defense has been. Again, 2nd best defense according to DVOA, literally the best defense according to PFF. So 2 advanced metrics, both rate the Seahawks defense highly. Offensively, again, 5th best offense according to DVOA, 2nd best offense according to PFF. Either way, Their offense looks good. The biggest issue with their offense heading into the year was their offensive line, which I'm not going to say that their offensive line has been good, but at least there are some pieces. Charles Cross, currently the highest graded tackle in the NFL, according to PFF, above all the studs, Trent Williams, Lane Johnson, all those guys. Charles Cross is rated number 1. The rest of the O-line hasn't been phenomenal, but it hasn't been season ruining, offense ruining, like we were worried about heading into the year. Now, the Lions, their Aiden Hutchinson, he can wreck a game, but their passing defense has been weak. Geno Smith has been phenomenal. If you're looking for player props, I think it's going to be a big game reception-wise for Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think it's going to be a big game yards-wise for DK Metcalf. I'm taking unders on Zach Charbonnet, but I think that the Seahawks are winning this game. That's my second and final upset prediction of week 4, and that's all we got. So 2 bangers, technically 3 bets, but 2 underdogs to back. I will say, if you're interested in these picks, I do have a dub club where I send all my plays out for $5 a month. Gets everything I'm playing sent directly to your phone, whether that's via text, email, or Telegram, however you want it. If you want to get plays sent to you early so you can lock in the plays before the odds change, or if you don't always have time to watch the YouTube videos but you still want to tail, that's why I have the dub club. I only charge $5 a month because if you want to get everything for free, you can on YouTube and on Twitter. I just like to give people the option. So dub club, if you're interested, link to that is everywhere. And that's all I got. Appreciate everybody for watching, and have a good one.